Indeed. There's really nothing left. Orekro is going to have a couple tanks. His natural is probably going to be fairly well defended. He's trying to lift off to save what he can, but he's going to be horrendously supply blocked. Way behind in economy. 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. 2-1 is... yeah, here I just got done saying that it's so rare to see your opponent up 6 bases. Looks like that's practically the case in this game.
In the meantime, TCTX also has a bunch of other units coming out, a couple Thors, Marauders, and Banshees coming out, so he is continuing to macro up while he is destroying his opponent's base. This is not a good position for...
No, this is a bad position because he can't build anything, he has no economy, and his army is small.
And he is horribly supply blocked.
And he is 61 out of 35 supplies. So TCTX's army is pretty much stuck in here, unless he can get some medevacs up there to lift him out. But it looks like he is going to lose the rest of this army. But I'd say they have been worth their weight so far. And now TCTX transitioning into just making that natural transition from Marine Marauder with no medevac support into Thor Banshee. Standard TVT, of course, but at this point TCTX has been playing quite well, completely taking advantage of Orekro's immobility, and I don't think there's anything Orekro can do. What all Orekro could have really hoped to do is be okay with being behind a base. Try to just turtle up, take a third in response to those expansions. He was a little bit too aggressive, too greedy. With tanks, you can't be pushing people all over the map. You need to be slow and very patient. He needed to just siege up, take a third, defend it, and then do some kind of big push, because that's all you can really do with the tank style. Unless your opponent's also going tank, in which case you can be a little bit more aggressive because you're both very immobile. But against this Marine Marauder, very highly mobile, can be attacking all over the place kind of style, you really need to be really careful, really slow and patient, very methodical, and you're going to be on the defense for most of the game. Really, Orekro is in a terrible position right now, having to spread out his siege tanks a lot to be able to defend all this area. He does have a third base, so I guess it's a second base up now, but he is behind 20 SCVs to 46. And another fairly significant force from TCTX is on the way and probably going to be doing a significant amount of damage.
Yes, indeed. And Orekro doesn't have many of his production facilities actually producing right now. So these Banshees could go and pick off those tanks if they wanted to, but instead they're going to go pick out some SCVs, which also really sucks for Orekro, never.
The TCTX is being very careful with his play, which is funny because he's pretty much got the game won. But it's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing when you're in this big of a lead to just not take any risks. You're in such a huge lead. There's no point in taking a risk. So I can't say I actually disagree with his play at all. Picking up the tanks with the Banshee. There's no point in taking unnecessary risks. Forcing a couple scans, which is huge. Orekro is so limited in economy as it is that each scan is pretty fatal. But this push is huge, and it looks like Orekro is going to be calling it here.
Yep, you see the stamp of these Marauders start to push in. A couple Thors in the back not doing anything yet. But now they are moving in and they are destroying this army of Orekros.
And the last siege tank that's in range to defend falls. There's one more, and it is now in range. So now there's another siege tank in range. But that seems to be the last one, and it's just a bunch of Thors versus a few Marines. This is weird. I don't know why he didn't just... He was being so careful up to this point. I don't know why he didn't just take the third, but it doesn't matter. Orekro GG, and game 1 goes to TCTX. Orekro asking if it was all on one base. No, he is on 3 bases, I suppose. But game 1 will go to TCTX, and map choice will go to Orekro. Looks like he's adamant about getting his question answered there. Nope,